So, guys came in at a good time. Today I'm working on trying to finish this guy up. This is a custom Kelly. It's got a custom scale length of 25.1 inches.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty,
Can I feel it?
Kind of an oddball, something unique. A request from a very talented artist, Brandon Ellis.
Huh.
You guys probably seen his last one, that was a 27 fret Kelly. This is also a 27 fret. As you can see, it's got the angled fingerboard. Kind of see how I mapped everything out. I still do everything by hand, old school, the way Mike Shannon taught me. It's kind of, I guess, my niche is, I was taught by Mike, and I got to shadow him for years. I was his apprentice for a very long time.
Well, so how long? When did you start with them?
I started here in 2005.
Oh, wow.
And I kind of started shadowing Mike around 2007.
Wow.
And yeah, I
you were just a kid.
Yeah, I was 19.
Oh, God,
So,
that's great.
Yeah, I'm super fortunate to have been able to learn from him and so many other guys like Red Dave, Pablo Santana,
Yeah.
Pat McGarry.
Oh.
So I got to really, geek out on how they did things and learn from them the old traditional way. Doing it on a pin router, even with a die grinder. Sometimes if it's something really custom, I'll take the die grinder to shape out a neck that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then hit it on the sander and kind of whittle everything down little by little.
Okay, so something like this, a custom order with this odd scale length and extra frets and all that. Do you have a template for that, or do you have to start from ground zero?
You kind of start with the fingerboard is kind of how I go with it. And that's the one thing I still have to do on the CNC. Back in the day they had gang saw, you could do it on that when it's still a center blank.
Yeah.
But yeah, something oddball like this, you pretty much have to do on the CNC. So the one thing that's done on there is the fingerboard, and then I kind of go from there.
Yeah.
And if you know guitar construction, everything's kind of based off of where the nut and the intonation point goes.
Sure.
And you kind of go off of that. The pattern I used for that, I actually did this when I was doing the Jeff Loomis prototypes. We were talking about giving them extra access.
Oh, okay.
Right here, right? So I did some fiddling with the horn, trying to make it still look like a normal Kelly shape. He actually pointed it out. He's like, I've been staring at this shape for years, and I can tell something changed here.
Yeah.
So we went with the traditional standard Kelly shape for his. So when Brandon came in and he was talking about doing 27 frets, I pulled this out. He's like, dude, that's a great idea. Let's do that. So it kind of worked out. So this is very close to the standard Kelly template. But yeah, that's where it kind of comes from. So start with fingerboard, make the center blank, and then once you get the wings on, use the template here on the pin router and buzz it out.
So is that usually how it works? It's a collaboration with the person that wants it built. You kind of go step by step, like how about this, how about this? Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the greatest advantages, kind of doing it the old school traditional way. You can go step by step and you kind of feel it out in real life.
Yeah.
It's in real time. Everything's done right in front of you instead of kind of doing it on a computer screen and trying to figure it out that way.
Right.
This is tangible. You can actually
you're actually chopping up wood. Yeah.
Yeah. Even when Loomis came in, that's the one thing I held off for Mike. It was like, you know what, Mike Shannon, you are the back shape master. That's the one thing you have to do that. That's what Jeff wanted too. So he got to sit there and stand it right in front of him and say, a little bit more, maybe a little bit more round.
Oh, really?
Take it down.
They were all together, and he was cutting it right in real time in front of them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool doing it that way.
Do you ever get in a situation like that where take off a little bit more, and it's too much?
Yeah, that's the one thing. You can't really put it back on. So there's no wood stretcher here. That's the one thing we don't have. So, yeah, you got to take it little by little, make sure you nail it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So if you do take it off too much, what do you do?
Well, hopefully it's a painted neck, and I guess we can give it a couple more coats of clear. That's about all you can do.
Yeah, right.
Or just start over, which I don't mind doing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Especially some of these guys, I'll do anything you want.
And you will build this entire guitar. This is pretty much start to finish. This will be your build.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm actually still talking to him right now. We're talking about where to put the volume. He wants it out of the way of the picking hand. And this is about where I had it last time, is kind of in line with the posts.
Yeah.
And then we decided, instead of doing a toggle switch, we're going to use a push-pull volume, so you can just select between his bridge pickup or the sustainer pickup. It's going to be a sustainer.
Oh, the sustainer? Yeah.
So I'm
angled.
Yeah, angled sustainer. And he's like, he mainly just uses a single hum bridge pickup, but we're going to add in the sustainer. You want to be able to use that too when it's passive. Sure. And you can see I was kind of mapping out how to do that. So since we decided just to do a volume, and I'm going to trick out the circuit board where we don't need anything else, The circuit board's gonna have to go right here, so you flip it over, you can kind of see where I had to kind of customize it. So
Yeah. Oh, wow.
yeah. Had to
No
squeeze
wonder
it in
it's
there.
so light.
Yeah, right? Helps a little bit,
Yeah.
lighten it up, but we'll put a bunch of stuff back in there and balance it back out.
Yeah.
So,
Wow, that's an
Yeah.
exciting build. Now, like,
Yeah.
have you already mapped out the finish? You have an idea where that's going?
yeah. So it's going to be a crackle finish, and I'm actually still waiting on the inlay material.
Kind of like, oh, you know, I guess that's not a crackle.
Yeah, that's a little different. We can
Yeah.
check that out too.
Yeah.
But it's going to be golden black, and we were going to go with pearl initially, and I looked up some other things I thought might work better, because pearl on maple kind of has a tendency to disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really see it too much. So
Yeah.
I found some really cool stone that we're going to end up using.
Oh,
so
cool.
Just wait on the material. I'll be able to cut that out, place it in there, and then it'll be on its way to paint.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because pearl seems more like an ebony thing, you know?
Yeah, it stands out
Really
really, it's
pops.
beautiful in ebony,
Yeah.
but yeah, in maple it kind of has a tendency to kind of disappear, especially when he's going to be on stage. You want to be able to see that stuff.
Sure, yeah. This
Yeah,
is
show it off.
Yeah, this isn't about subtlety, it's about disappearing. You want to see
you want everything to scream at you.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
so
Yeah,
fun.
he even did the so these are the hidden fret tangs. So this is all one piece of plain maple, and even had the challenge of doing a plain maple binding around the headstock,
Yeah.
which was not an easy task, but
God, yeah.
it's gonna be pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's something you're not gonna see very often.
No.
Mike Shannon recently did one for another artist. Can't remember exactly who it was. I think maybe somebody from Sabaton. We had to do the whole body and everything, so I had to reach out to him for some tips on how to make that happen.
Wow.
Uh,
What a fun project.